I'm going to go ahead and start recording. Okay, there's the test. But before we start, I want to go over a couple of things so y'all won't, y'all are riding around like a chicken with your head cut off this week. So I want to remind you of a few things. Number one, I have decided to let Unit 4 test only cover 9.1. Okay? I have decided to let Unit 1 test just cover 9.1. You're welcome. Okay? There's only like 10 questions. All right? Now, of course, if you want to look at the due date, you can look at that on My Lab's Math. 2, the final exam will cover all of our tests, and that means you can go to your grade book. You can go to whichever test you want and hit the review link. And up in the top right corner where it says question help, I think it says question help. You can go into question help and you can hit print. And it will give you the option to just print out one question, or you can print out the whole test. So everybody can review each of their Unit 1, Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3, or Unit 4. And the final exam will include 9.1 also. You have 2 attempts. 2 hours, and the dates are on My Labs Plus, My Labs Math. Okay, so does anybody have any questions about the Unit 4 test or the final exam?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so that's pretty self-explanatory?
Yes.
Okay. Now, the other formula that we're going to use is when you need to find the number of people to survey, poll, etc. In other words, find N. Okay? Or it could be how many tires to pull. If I worked at Michelin, how many tires to pull to make sure we don't put out a bunch of defective tires. If you work at Cryovac and you make CDs, how many CDs to pull when you're trying to figure out how many defective CDs Cryovac's making. All right, so the number you need to poll, pull, whatever you want to call it, and that's finding N. Okay, N is equal to P hat, Q hat, times Z divided by margin of error raised to the second power.
What did you say the random paper was? I messed up.
Okay, sorry. I got to get some more paper. I ain't got, look how much paper I got. That's how much paper I got. Okay, so there's the formula. So I'm going to circle this in green because it's very important. So I'm going to write a cheat sheet for you for the test. And that you can use it for the test. Thank you.
I was going to try and open it, but.
That's fine. Thank you.
Oh,
Where's Walt?
in the living room?
Okay.
On the den.
Sorry. Hold on. I'm getting there. I ran out of paper. This is the last paper I got. I had to get some more paper.
Oh, probably had, tagging right now.
Okay, so let's make a cheat sheet. And here's the cheat sheet for 9.1. You need to have p hat is equal to x over n. Therefore, q hat is equal to 1 minus x over n, or 1 minus p hat. You need to have n is always the biggest number. And I have to write that down even though I've been saying it all semester. And don't forget your confidence level index card. The confidence level index card gives you what? Z sub alpha over 2. And then the only other formulas you need to know is margin of error is equal to Z sub alpha over 2 multiplied by P hat, Q hat over N raised to the 0.5 power. Now, you could take the square root. I don't care, but you know I don't do the square root. And then N is equal to P hat, Q hat times Z over margin of error raised to the 2nd power. And then there's only one more thing that I need to add to this, and that's the confidence interval. And that's equal to P hat in the middle and then P hat plus margin of error, and then P hat minus margin of error. Okay, and that's all of 9.1. All right, so I'm letting y'all finish. Please finish writing that down. Tell me when you finished. Everybody got it? Anybody need to wait? Okay, here is our first question. There it is. Write it down. I think we did this one the other day in class. Somebody have to look on your notes. I think we did 81% or 81%, 82%. I think we did. Everybody ready to do it? So I'm going to do it longhand, so that way, you know, it said, what does this direction say? It says find the z-score relating to a confidence level of 82%. Now, let me ask y'all a question. See how well y'all were listening the other day, Tuesday. What dictates everything we're doing in 9.1? I told you this Tuesday. What dictates everything in 9.1? Anybody remember that? Anybody? The what?
Component level?
The confidence what?
Level.
Level.
The confidence level dictates everything in 9.1. It's like you can't do anything unless the confidence level tells you. Okay? Confidence level dictates. Now, there's a homework question that pretty much says this. Okay? The confidence level dictates. So what is confidence level? So I'm going to do just like your index card. Confidence level is 82%, which is equal to point what? 82. Therefore, alpha is equal to what? 1 minus 0.82, which is what?
118.
And alpha over 2, what's half of 18 cents?
9.
0.0990. I'm sorry. 0.0900. And somebody take your handy dandy calculator and do second bars inverse norm 0.0900. What do you get?
1.34.
1 point what?
1.34.
1.304.
1.34.
Okay, you're breaking up, Mr. Mance. Whenever you say that 304 or 34, you're breaking up.
1.34.
Okay, one more. Somebody give me that last part.
It's 4 after 3.
3, 4, is that it?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Because when you say 3, 4, it sounds like 304. I don't know if it's your mic or what. So there it is. There's your answer. 1.34 is your answer, unless somebody told me wrong. Let's type that in. And let's see if we got it right. 1.34. Look there. We got it right. Next. Next. Oops. Oh my, there's another question just like we just did. So somebody, we'll do it on the same page. It's not supposed to do them close together like that. So 81% is equal to 0.81. What is 1 minus 0.81? 0.19. What is 0.19 divided by 2? 0.0950? Somebody check me, please.
Yeah.
And somebody do second bars, inverse norm, 0.0950. What do you get?
It's 1.31.
1.31.
Priority 1 message
All
coming
right,
in
let's
on
check it.
secured channel.
1.31. It's a miracle. Now, I'm sorry, but that's 2 questions right there that nobody should miss.
Why did
Why?
mine?
Say again?
Whenever I put that in the calculator, it said negative 1.31.
Yeah, we always go with the absolute value.
Okay.
Okay? Next question. It's really a distance, Ms. Costanzo. It's really a distance. So distance cannot be negative, so that's why we don't use the negative or the positive. We just say 1.31. Next. Okay. Next. All right, there you go. Oh, I need to give y'all another note. I forgot to tell y'all this. Let's go back to the right here. Let's go back to your cheat sheet right here. I forgot to tell you, if P hat not given, and this is going to be like B on the test and the homework questions. If P hat is not given, use P hat equal to 0.5 and Q hat equal to 0.5. If P hat is not given in the equation, in the question, then use P hat is equal to 0.5 and Q hat is equal to 0.5. And that's like this question right here. B, it says, what if you didn't have a p-value? That's what B says. So I'm going to let you write down everything for A and B. All right, go ahead and write down everything. I'm going to try to make this a little bit bigger for you. Is that better?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, there you go. Go ahead and write the question down. Okay, so here we go. First of all, you need to write down what's given. What sample size? I'm going to put a what sample size? Y'all know what that means? That means find N. That's what that means. Find N. Okay, margin of error is given 3% or 0.03. 90% confidence level is given. So somebody look on your index card and tell me what the z-score is for 90% confidence level.
$1.64.
Okay, I want you to add a 5 to that. 1.645. Because some of the homework questions are using 1.645, and I didn't find that out until today or yesterday or whenever I found out. So make sure you add that 5 to your index card. And then A gives us P hat is equal to 0.24. Therefore, Q hat, what is Q hat? 1 minus 0.24, which is what? 0.76? Now for B, P hat is equal to 0.5 and Q hat is equal to 0.5. Now we're going to go to the next page and do these problems. I want you to go ahead and write the formula. N is equal to P hat times Q hat times Z over margin of error raised to the second power. I want y'all to plug and chug for A and B. I want you to plug and chug into that formula. So I'll give you a minute or two to go ahead and start. Okay, so I'm going to give y'all a minute or two to punch that in. I'm going to go to the next page. And I'm going to try to write everything over to where we can do it all on one page. A little bit cramped on this page. Well, no, I probably can. Let me get a better, I bought some new Sharpies today, so let me get a thinner one. So N is equal to 0.24 times 0.76 times 1.645 divided by 0.03 raised to the second power. And B is going to be N is equal to 0.5 times 0.5 bracket 1.645 divided by 0.03 raised to the second power. So now all it is calculator time. And let me ask you a question. Look at this number right here. Is this number any different than this number?
No.
No, so once you get this number in the first one, all you got to do is multiply it by 0.5 and 0.5 because these two are the same number. These are what we call equal. So I'm going to take my handy dandy calculator and I'm going to take 1.645, 1.645, and I'm going to divide it by 0.03, and I'm going to raise that to the second power. Now, you can store that in your memory. I'm going to store it, stow, alpha, and I'm just going to call it A. Or you can write it down, whichever one you want to do. So I'm going to write it down just for the notes. 3006.69, 3006.69. And now I'm going to do my multiplying. So multiply by 0.24 times 0.76. Somebody check your number with my number. I get 548.42. Somebody confirm that, please.
That's what I got.
All right, now I'm going to do the second one. So 3006.694444 times 0.25, which is 0.5 times 0.5. And I got 751.67. Somebody check me.
Yes.
Okay, now we're going to talk about something that you need to write in red. Right here. If you come out with a decimal, you will always round up. Write that down. If you come out with a decimal, you will always round up. I don't care what the decimal is. I don't care if it's 0.01. I don't care if it's 0.5. You will always round up. If you come out with 00, then you just leave alone. So both of these are going to be rounded up. 549 and 752.
Hi.
So if you're given, hey,
Hi.
if you're given a decimal, if you come out with a decimal, you round up. If you come out with 00, so like if this came out to be 751.00, you would leave it 751. Okay, so I'm going to go to the question, and I'm going to type in the question. We're doing the test, so that will help y'all out doing the test. 549 and 752. And that's 100%. I'll give you a second since you just came in. You can write that question down.
Well, I was stuck in virtual office hours. That's why I wouldn't connect.
Oh,
and they're life flighting somebody in my hayfield right now.
oh, okay.
So I couldn't figure out why. I didn't even get the call on my phone.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Just you can keep going. I guess I'll just watch it later. It's fine.
Okay, well, let's go on to the next one. Thank you.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't want to hold anybody up.
Okay, here's our construct a confidence interval. So there's the problem right there. So go ahead and write it down.
This was confusing the crap out of me last night trying to do homework because it's not, they don't word it the way you do. And then I could not get straightened out.
Well, we'll hopefully get it ironed out, and this is why I'm doing the test. And I'm going to copy this to the other 120s also. All right, it says construct a 90% confidence interval. Construct a confidence interval based on a 90% confidence level. That's what it should say.
If that
Okay,
helicopter turbulence is too loud, I'm sorry.
What?
I said, if y'all hear the helicopter turbulence, I'm sorry.
That's fine. X is equal to 40. And N is equal to 200. Now, I got everything written down. So, remember at the beginning of class, I gave y'all this. That's your cheat sheet for 9.1. Now, we've already taught, the only thing new is this one down here. We just did that one. But this is all the stuff we've been doing. P hat is equal to X over N. Q hat is equal to 1 minus that P hat. N is equal to the biggest number always. You should have your index card. The index card that I told you to make, which probably one of you did. The confidence interval, that's how you construct the confidence interval. So this right here is what we need. The question is asking for this. So I want somebody to tell me what 2 things we need to do this in green right here. What 2 things do we need? It's right there in front of you. What 2 things do we need?
P hat and
You need P hat and margin of error. So here's P hat. You need P hat and you need margin of error. So do we have a formula for P hat and margin of error? Yes. P hat is right here. And margin of error is right here. So I'm going to write those 2 things on the next page. I'm going to leave that on there for a second. I'm letting y'all make sure that anybody that needs to write it down. Okay, so here we go. P hat is equal to X over N, which is equal to 40 over 200. Now I'm going to do it by hand because I don't want to use calculator. 0.4 over 20 is the same thing as 0.2. If somebody would check that for me. Therefore, somebody tell me what Q hat is.
It's the complement of P hat.
Which is?
1 minus 0.2, 0.8.
Good job. Okay, now we got to find the margin of error. Which the margin of error is on, is in our, so I'm gonna kind of draw a little line right here, because we've done what we need to do here. We found P hat, and that's what we needed for the beginning. Now we need to find the margin of error. Margin of error is equal to our z-score times P hat, Q hat over N raised to the 0.5 power. And I told y'all many times, I don't like to use the square root symbol, so I use 0.5. If you want to use the square root symbol, that's up to you. Now, somebody tell me, oh, I forgot. What is our 95% or 90% confidence level according to our index card? What is our z-score?
1.645.
1.645. And remember, at the beginning of class, I told y'all the book is using 1.645 instead of 1.64. So I've told all the 120 classes to add that 5 onto the 1.64. And plug in what?
Plug and chug.
Chug.
Confidence level is
1.645 to 0.2 times 0.8 divided by 200 raised to the 0.5 power. Now I'm going to pull up the calculator. You go ahead and be working it however you want to work it. I'm going to work it from the inside out like you're supposed to work it. And that's the way I'm going to do it. So go ahead. I'm going to give everybody a minute to, because some of y'all write down numbers and stuff like that while you're doing it. So I'm going to let y'all work on it for a second. In fact, I think I'll do that for y'all in this notes.
Oh, I did it wrong. Crap.
That's all right. Try it again. Take your time.
One 1.645 times 0.0283. Can we just take it to the fourth?
I would take it 3 or 4 decimal points, so
To the fourth
you can
decimal
round
point?
it off according to what they want.
Okay. So 1.654 times 0.0283. 0.0466. Is that right?
I'm working it for y'all. Hold on. Give me a second. I'm doing it out longhand. Raised to the 0.5 power. 0.0282 ... times. Turn your speakers down, please. Times 1.645. 1.645. And I get a margin of error of 0.0465. Now let me show you what I did. There it is. Is that what y'all got?
Sorry, I muted my thing. Yes, sir.
Okay, now just for your giggles, that's the same as 0.0465 or 4.65%. Just so you'll remember that. Now we're going to set up our confidence interval. So if you wanted to give these, this is part 1. I found P hat and Q hat. This is part 2. Find your margin of error. Part 3 is the easy part. Just setting up your confidence interval. P hat will be in the middle. You don't put a number for P hat. You just put P hat. And then over here, you're going to put P hat, which is 0.2 plus 0.0465.
And don't you do
And
the
over
same on the
here-
other side? You subtract it?
Subtract minus 0.0465. So on the right, you're going to get 0.2465.
Wait a minute.
And on the left,
Is it 0.1535?
I don't know, I guess. Y'all tell me. I think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
0.1535. Thank you. And I want you to take your highlighter in green because this is the answer to the test question right here. So I'm going to take my highlighter and I'm going to highlight that green because that's what you're trying to get. This right here is called the confidence interval.
But it was asking you for the lower and the upper.
And that's what you got. Which way do you read?
Left or right? Okay.
So which one's lower?
0.1535.
I tell you what, we learning something in this class.
Shit.
You'd be surprised. It takes a whole semester to get people to realize that you've been reading from left to right for 12 years. And in math and calculus, y'all start reading from right to left. I
You
don't
know why? You know why? It's because when we do the bell curve and you look at them graphs and they say they're skewed left or they're skewed right, it's opposite. That's
yeah, it's
why.
opposite. I guess that would be.
That is
I
what
guess that.
confuses
But remember,
the
I
crap out
told
of
y'all
me.
that's the only time in the world that it's the opposite.
I know, but then it screws us up for life right there.
Yeah, it's Russian's fault.
It is. And I want to know something. What the hell were you talking about on that video, that Bitcoin stuff?
That stuff right now is popular. If you
Well, what
want
is
to
it?
invest in, if you want to make money, it's a big chance.
But is it like fake money?
No, it's money that you use on the internet.
I don't know how to do that. I flunked economics.
In the future, everything's going to be crypto coin. Everything.
Well, I flunked economics twice, so
Well, it will be. You better get used to it. All
me and the
right.
stock market don't get along.
3 places. 0.154.
Wait, where'd you come up with 0.154?
Read the directions down on the bottom. Round to what?
Okay. Read the directions. You know they're tiny.
And that is 100% correct. Next question.
Y'all done got through 8 questions before I could get on here?
Well,
Damn.
bonus questions. We only did like 3 questions, bonus questions, but then
Okay, I'll just have to go back and watch
there's
it.
only like 10 on the test.
Yeah, you told me that earlier.
All right, there you go. I'm going to blow it up one more time for you. Now this one, you don't even have to do the confidence interval. You just have to put P hat and the margin of error. They're not even asking for the confidence interval.
Just give me a minute. Let me write this down.
I'm going to give y'all a minute to do it.
How come your video's off?
Oh, because I got sun shining in this window right here, and all you can see is my big head.
Been looking at it all semester.
Well, you can't. Let's see if it's better now. Yeah, see, you can't see.
Yeah. I can
got that
see you.
window coming right in.
I like to look at you.
No, you don't like. I'm a scarecrow.
Well, as long as I can see you, I feel like I'm actually doing something. I don't like just looking at your picture. I'm sorry. I don't know how anybody in this class cannot turn their camera on and not.
Well, like I said, how do people eat Tide Pods?
Yeah, how do they snort condoms?
Yeah, well, how'd you know that? God, that's something I used to use in class all the time, and people used to think I was crazy.
Oh no, this new age is real bright.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, they're gonna be putting Fix-A-Flat in there.
I told my son and daughter both. I said, you know what? People used to say something about my generation in the 80s, but ours was just, just being wild. This generation,
That's a whole new.
it's
It's
really
a whole
just
new part of stupid. I can tell
I
you
think
that.
this generation is probably the worst generation since maybe the 50s.
Probably so.
I mean, they believe everything should be given to them, and there's no sense of accountability or, I think I should have what everybody else have, but I don't have to work as hard.
Well, that all comes from the way you're raised.
Well, that and the way you're led.
Yeah.
I believe it has a lot to do with the way you're led, but I'm not going to get into that. A university dean is interested in determining the proportion of students who receive some sort of financial aid, blah, 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 blah. Rather than examine the records, blah, 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 a dean randomly selects n is equal to 200 and finds that 118, x is equal to 118, 90% confidence level equals z sub alpha 2 equals 1.645. And they want a confidence interval, but they don't want you to write it. Let me go to this now. Are y'all through writing?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, this is all you need.
I pretty much squiggled in the last part pretty quick.
Now, the way we write a confidence interval is like this. P hat less than or equal to some number greater than or equal to some number and put in brackets. Does everybody understand that? That's a confidence interval. They don't want it written like that. That's the way that we write it when they ask for a confidence interval. Sometimes they just want it as P hat plus or minus the margin of error. And that's another way to write a confidence interval. So I need you to make that note on this question because the multiple choice answers are answering in this form right here. So we just need margin of error. P hat is equal to 118 over 200. Can somebody give me that to 2 digits, please?
0.59.
Therefore, Q hat is equal to 1 minus 0.59, which is equal to 0.41. Now we've got P hat. I'm going to take it over here, and I'm going to put 0.59 right there. And we're going to find the margin of error now. Margin of error is equal to 1.645 times 0.59 times 0.41 over 200 raised to the 0.5 power. Now I want everybody to work that out because I'm gonna let y'all need the calculator time better than I do. So I'm gonna let y'all work it out, but I need 2 people to verify it. So some of you people that are weaned on a pickle, y'all can type it in the conversation area. take it to 4 digits, please. Somebody, I need 2 people to confirm it. You get 2 same answers, we're going to go with that.
Hang on, I'm working on it. Is it 0.0572?
That's what I got.
Woo woo.
.0572. Give me something to drink, please. Just something caffeine free, please. There's a Sprite in there. Okay, did somebody, Mr. Mance, did you confirm that?
That's what I got.
Okay, oh, who was that? That was Mr. Thompson. Good.
That's the second
Okay.
time I've heard from you all semester.
I think that's the first time he's ever said anything.
No.
Plus or minus 0.0572. So I want everybody to take your handy dandy highlighter and highlight that right there because that's your answer. So let's look at the test question. Okay, we got 0.59 plus or minus. We're looking for 0.058. And there it is. Charlie. I'm sorry, 0.057. And everybody got that one right. 15. All right, there you go. Now this one, we did this in class the other day, and you have to go backwards. They are giving you the interval, and I'm going to write it. Just watch what I do right here. And I want you to make a note of this, and we did it the other day. We did it Tuesday. Okay, I'm going to bring it down.
These
The
are ones
first
that I
thing you
couldn't figure out
do
how to
right
do.
here is you write it in the confidence interval form. P hat less than or equal to 0.679 and 0.891.
Let me finish writing this. Interval. And
And
number
N is equal to 1,000.
individuals. In
Now, let me tell you what they want here. They want 2 things. They want to know, they want to know P hat, and B, they want to know the margin of error. Now, the good thing about this is you don't have to do those formulas. This is just nothing but 100% basic math. So I'm going to let everybody finish writing the question down.
A, they're looking for P hat. B is the margin of error. So 0.679 greater than or equal to P of hat 0.891. Okay.
Okay, now somebody tell me what the pink number is.
That's your lower bound.
Okay, so you could say that's kind of like the mean or the lowest. And what's the 891?
The upper.
That's the highest. Now, can somebody tell me how to find the middle of 2 points? It's not called the middle, it's called the mid what?
Range.
Mid range. So what's the formula for the
High
mid range?
minus high plus low.
That's right.
Divided by 2.
Mid-range is equal to the middle. In this case, it's equal to P hat. Oops, hold on. So the mid-range is low plus high divided by 2. So that's equal to 0.679 plus 0.891 divided by 2. And somebody give me 3 digits, because that's what we have, 3 digits. And somebody has to confirm it, since I'm not doing it.
1.125.
Well, you got to divide it by 2.
I did. 1.1245.
I got 0.785.
That sounds more like it.
Why is it funny? Let me do it again. 0.679 plus 0.891. All right. Divided by 2. 0.785 is what y'all got?
Is that what y'all got?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I
All
may
right, so we got
have subtracted by accident.
P hat is equal to 0.785. Okay, so we got one thing, so highlight that. We got P hat. Now somebody tell me how to find the margin of error if you remember how to get the margin, how to get the confidence interval. Where is the margin of error? The margin of error is between P hat and what? The lower bound and the upper bound. So somebody tell me how to get that using basic math. How do I get the margin of error with P hat in either the upper bound or lower bound? Mr. Mance, I think you said this last time. You answered it last time in class.
Real confused last night.
Tuesday night.
Yeah.
How do you get it?
No, I was doing homework last night and I couldn't figure out how to do it. Even by reading my notes.
Tell me how to find, look at the diagram up here. I want to try to get through with this test. I'm trying to get through with it.
Oh,
Okay?
don't you take the Z-score?
No, look at the drawing. The margin of error is from here to here. So if we have P hat,
you add and subtract it.
you subtract it. 0.891 minus 0.785. I'm going to do both of them. You can do either or. You can take 0.891 minus 0.785, or you can take 0.785 and subtract 0.679. Now, I want somebody to do one of each. I want somebody to do the one on the left, and I want somebody to do the one on the right.
The one on the left is 0.106.
102?
106.
And what's the one on the right?
The same thing.
It's a miracle. So therefore, the margin of error is equal to 0.106. I'm going to highlight this orange because that represents this up here. Now, that's the second time I've done that problem, so I tried to clean it up a little bit to make it a little bit easier. Now, let's answer the question. What is P hat? Point, it says round to the nearest thousand, 0.785. And the margin of error, round to the nearest thousandth, is 0.106. And let me make it go down a little bit. The number of the individuals, so multiply 0.785, because that's p hat, times n. You just move it 3 places to the right, and that's 785.
So that's the number of individuals in the sample. You just move it to the right, you said?
Well, you multiply 1,000 times p hat. NP, remember?
1,000
6,
times 0.785.
And you just end up, since it's 1,000, you just end up moving it 3 places to the right.
And that's how you get the sample.
That's how you get down here at the bottom, the number of individuals in the sample. Now, will n always be 1,000? No. So whatever the n is, you got to multiply by that 0.785 by p hat. Okay, next question. All right, there's another one just like it. I'm going to let y'all do this one. I'm going to give you 5 minutes. I'm going to make it bigger for you. There you go.
It says 1,200, don't it?
Yep.
think I got it.
Well, hold on. I'll give y'all at least a little 30 seconds because I told you I'd give y'all 5 minutes. And that's what I got. Y'all check me and tell me what y'all got.
The same thing.
Good job. Let's see if it's right. The point estimate is 0.635. The margin of error is 0.254. And N times P hat is 762. And I got to bring it down. And that is 100% correct. And I just did y'all's test for y'all. Now, let me tell y'all something. If you go on YouTube today, for the 1 or 2 people that's actually going to do it, I did your homework questions for you on YouTube today. I think it's called Math 120 10, and I think it says homework number 5 through 11. That was in the 8 o'clock class this morning. So if you need help with those questions, that YouTube video is up. It's in your class. It's today's video, and I'm going to post today's, and I'm going to post again. I'm going to post this one, and it's going to be called Math 12011 Unit 4 Test Review. Okay? So remember, you have 3 things to do between now and whenever my labs tells you when. 1, homework, 20% of the test. Test and exam, 80% of your grade. So the unit tests are Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3, and the test that I put up today was Unit 4, and it only covers 9.1. We just did it. The exam will cover all of these tests, and you can go to gradebook, review, whichever test you want to review, go up to question help, and you can print out whichever test you want to print out with the answers. And you know what I tell everybody to do? Go through and do each one of those tests again, check the answers, and you're ready for, all you need to do is refresh your memory. That's all you need to do before the exam. Because most people with an A or B average can get by with a high D or low C on the final.
Yeah, that's going to be me.
Okay, any questions?
I'll be skating by the skin of my teeth.
All right. Now, I have one request for everybody in the group, and that request is I want everybody to go to Rate My Professor and rate all your professors. Now, if you've only had 1, that's fine. If you've had 4, do I want you to do that for me? No, I could care less about your other professors. I want you to do it for future students. Okay? So please, that's the only thing I ask of y'all. I haven't asked y'all to do videos because 80% of y'all really sucked as far as videos. And about 40% of y'all did well on interaction. The rest of y'all sucked on interaction. So I hope everybody has a good break. I will be around for questions if you want to send me a question and we can team together, individually. I will be glad to do that. Other than that, I hope everybody has a good break and a good summer if you're not taking any classes. But please do go by and